I am a Trump supporter, but you are essentially upset with the Pope because he critiqued you. You said you're not a fan of him because he critiqued the war. So you're not a fan of all the conservatives that are also critiquing the war. So Pope Leo and President Trump have been kind of going at each other recently. Obviously, I am a devoted Catholic. My whole thought process from this entire situation was I have no fear of criticizing President Trump. No, and this is a perfect example of it. I have no fear of criticizing President Trump. This war in Iran was completely unnecessary. We shouldn't even be there. And I'm not one of these idiots online that suggests that just because it's Trump, the war is bad, even though they're okay with all the other wars. I'm a pacifist. I'm against all war, unless we absolutely have to, and we didn't have to.
Overnight, President Trump lashing out at Pope Leo on Truth Social, calling the first American Pope weak, saying, "I don't want a Pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon, and I don't..."
First of all, the Pope never said he was okay with that, Mr. Trump. The Pope is anti-war. We're anti-violence. Catholics, Christians, any denomination within Christianity, we're anti-violence. We don't want unnecessary death over whatever you guys want this war for. We didn't need it. Okay, no one ever said he was okay with any sort of destructive weapons, okay? But we're also against war.
I'm not a fan of Pope Leo.
The Pope is on his...
Well, listen, if you're not a fan of him because he's critiquing you, that's not a good reason to not be a fan of him.
Third and longest trip since the start of his papacy, travelling to 4 countries in Africa. This morning, on the papal flight to Algiers, the Pope responding to the president.
I have no fear, neither the Trump administration nor speaking out loudly about the message of the gospel.
100%. Our doctrine as Christians should always go above any sort of political administration. Of course it should. And like I said, I've had critiques of Pope Leo. I mean, there's things he said or the way he worded things that I don't completely agree with. The Pope is right here. The Pope is right here. He's not saying anything wrong. And to be clear, Trump, I am a Trump supporter. I'm loud and proud. I am a Trump supporter. But you are essentially upset with the Pope because he critiqued you. You said you're not a fan of him because he critiqued the war. So you're not a fan of all the conservatives that are also critiquing the war? Pope Leo didn't even directly speak about the U.S. or any country in war. Or call out you individually. He literally just said, let's all war as a whole, peace in general. And there's nothing wrong with preaching that. Why would we just want human beings to be killed for no apparent reason over land or whatever, or finances or whatever, or over religion? None of that should happen. So Pope Leo on Monday responded to the criticism from President Donald Trump, telling reporters while traveling to Algeria that he has no fear of the White House. 100% agree. We should have no fear of the White House. We should have no fear of any human being when it comes to political pressure. We first, as Christians, are called to follow the Bible. I have no fear of the Trump administration. You shouldn't, nor speaking out loudly about the message of the gospel. And when it comes to Pope Leo, I can't sit here and say if Kamala Harris was in office and this happened, I can't sit here and say that he would 100% criticize her. I don't know that. I don't know if he would. And it could be largely influenced because it's Donald Trump. That could be a large reason of it. But he's still right. I have to put that to the side and understand he's still right. He's still correct. Trump on Sunday night posted on social media calling the Pope weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. Yeah, the Pope in the Vatican City, you think their main objective is foreign policy? You really think that? And what crime? What does that even mean? What crime are you even talking about? The Vatican City follows religious law. What crime? I'm confused. Am I missing something? Trump early on Monday had called for the Pope to focus on being a great Pope, not a politician. Well, Trump, unfortunately, you probably understand this, politics and religion are completely intertwined with each other because of social norms or the morally wrong and the morally right. They're constantly conflated with each other.
Come to my house, only thing in that bitch is some Balenciaga and lots of ammo. Look at my drawer for socks and box on thing in their palace on.